Hey everyone, I've got a great question from a friend of mine, Lara. Her question was, she was wondering about foods that are on one stage gluten-free, sugar-free and dairy-free. Okay, she wanted my advice on what sort of foods she should be eating or avoiding, and really, straight off, I think the best thing for you to do, Lara, is firstly, write a list of all your favourite foods. Don't take into account what's gluten-free, what's dairy-free or anything like that. Just make a big list of all your favourite foods, and from that list, find out what's got gluten in, what's got dairy, etc. And you will find that there are many alternatives to those foods. These days, there is just about anything that's going to replace gluten foods, dairy foods. On the other hand, gluten-free. Let's talk about gluten first. Obviously gluten sources are, of course, wheat, rye, and barley. So that takes a lot of breads out, a lot of pasta, rice, of those kinds of sources. So it's a little bit more difficult for you to become gluten-free. But like I said, there are many alternatives that are gluten-free nowadays in supermarkets, all your Whole Foods, etc. So I'll leave you to find that out for yourself. Okay. Talking about you mentioned that you want to be sugar-free. Okay. This is something that a lot of people not make a mistake really, but don't really take into account. Okay, you've already told me that you've lost 2 stone. Okay, and you've got another 2 stone to go. All right, fantastic. That's brilliant. Really happy for you. So something's working there. Okay, but when you say sugar-free, as a nutritionist, as a trainer, I know that sugar-free is definitely not what you mean. But what you mean, of course, I'm presuming this with what you're eating already. I presume you're not having things like the obvious sugars, sweets, chocolate, stuff like that. Okay, but remember, carbohydrates are sugars, just in general. All different kinds of sugars, but all carbohydrates are some form of sugar. Okay, so I'm not sure what you're having now, but it's obviously working. You've lost 2 stone, 2 stone to go. It's obviously working. So keep doing what you're doing. All right. Hopefully this answers your question about your gluten and your dairy. What I'd say following from that, I presume you're having fruit, veg, things like that. Okay. Remember, take that into account. That's carbohydrates. That is sugar. Okay, it's a good form of sugar. It's very low calorie. And as you want to lose weight, you are looking for a low calorie nutrition. Plain and simple. You've got to take into account your quality of those carbohydrates that you're having. Okay. Obviously, when you're trying to get gluten and dairy free, you're really limiting how much food you can have, how much variety you can have, and obviously the body likes variety. But there are alternatives. It's just finding them out for yourself, of course. Okay. What I suggest, one really top tip is the snacks that you're having. Always have snacks available, and what I mean by that is simple things like nuts, particularly almonds. Almonds are really good for gluten and dairy free completely. Great source of protein and some essential nutrients there. Figs as well, and raisins. Okay, very good. Great sources of nutrients again. So always have them on you. Always have them available. Try not to get to the point where you're out and about and you fall hungry and you've got nothing to snack on or eat. So think about that. So I hope this has helped. It's working. 2 stone off. It is working. You're doing something right. Okay. If you start to find that you plateau a little bit and you slow down with your weight loss, then maybe something needs to change. That's something that you've got to address at the time then. Hopefully you've got enough variety in your nutrition already that your body's not going to adapt to it anyway. So you shouldn't find that you're plateauing. If you are, then you really need to address that and respond to it. So other than that, I hope this has helped. I want to give everyone a quick thank you for everyone's support so far with the YouTube channel. I will send this to Lara yourself, so that you can see it for yourself, as of course it was you who asked the question. And if you could leave a like just underneath the video, and if you have any more questions, please comment. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel so you can keep updated with the latest videos. And that's it. And that's Jack here. Thank you very much. Cheers.